Hello. We are into day 81. It's good to see you. And again, I'm just trying to get used to this new platform. So I hit the go button a little faster than I thought I was going to be doing, but that's okay. So let's do some foundations just to get started, and then we're going to do a seated second part set as we did yesterday. Okay, so I'm just going to back up. And just bringing your feet are planted into the floor, toes straight forward, shoulder width apart, and then just bringing the hands out in front. So you're making a 90-degree angle here, little bit of space, orange width underneath the arm to the body, and just turning the hands. All right, take some nice deep breaths in. And today we are focusing on the elbows and how they sink and help us in deepening our Tai Chi and our layers of Tai Chi. So we'll just keep that going for a moment. The screen is all completely different. Always love knowing more. Okay. Beautiful. Don't know if you can hear the oregano singing in the background. I put it on relaxation, so it's a little quieter. All right, and then just let that come down. And now I'm just going to rotate through the arms. And I know you're looking at more of a ceiling than you are at my body to get my arms in there. Let's just adjust that here. So we're going to go open, close. Now what I want you to notice is if both hands rotate the same, opening through the shoulders, weights down into your feet. And a few days back, we discussed how you were sinking into the feet, what you notice, connecting, being a part of the floor with all parts of your feet. So as you're doing that, then sinking into your knees, feeling the buoyancy of your knees, and then into the hips. And we're just going to let that rotation come right through the shoulder so you can get a feel for how it's functioning before we get into the moves. All right. And so now that we've got that going, rotation coming through, let's just pull the arms up. We'll just do this one. So here, the hands, as soon as they start to notice in the back, starts to open up a different way. Expand. Now your shoulders should be even. I have one shoulder that gives me a little bit of problem. So it's not quite balanced. I try my best. Take that out. Rotating, sink. You'll just notice as when everything's relaxed, the body moves as you move your arms. So as your arms go out to reach and you turn under, you'll notice lower back will let go. When you get towards the back, the knees drop. Then you push into the feet. Not because you pushed, but just because the change of your hand just guides you to do that. It's just so interesting how it continues to open and expand. It's coming through, sink. Open and expand. And again, just feeling that there's a sink down into the feet, and then a push comes out of the feet as the hands come up. So when you start to be aware of where the movement changes in your body based on where you place something else, it becomes really interesting to know then how much more efficient you can be at movement without thinking you have to do it, like from your mind, and your mind is going to tell the rest of your body how it needs to move. The body already knows. It's got that figured out, or it has a pattern that's not working well. and in which case we want to reprogram that. So this is one way of doing that. That nice slow movement. As the body feels comfortable and safe, it'll start to change patterns. And sometimes we're not aware of those things that are going on, but being very calm and quiet is really important. And just getting into your Tai Chi. Taking out any judgment calls from your mind. Any evaluations. You got it, you didn't get it, whichever. And then let that come through. Okay, so that gives us two foundations to work on, just to open things up. But I do want to do a seated Lok Hup set. And this is so we can get into the patterns, but also to help people if you're going to be doing the seated version, and I'm going to get up and do the standing version. I just want to make sure, if this is not too helpful for you, let me adjust that a little bit better. Change the camera a little bit with this new platform. Okay. But I want you to be able to be comfortable with the seated form so you can continue to do it even while I'm standing. Hey, Jeanette. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is second part of Lok Hup. Okay, and we'll just start with a bow. We always put the bow in because it involves gratitude. And that puts us in a wonderful place of learning from. Okay, so the second part of Lok Hup, you would come around and then change, and that would come around. Then the back of the right hand will go forward, and then the back of the left hand will go forward. Then the right hand will punch through. You can feel that lower back, wipe the sleeve. This is going to go to the brow. And the right hand and the left hand will pass through. Right hand will go over the left, and then they'll pass each other. Sink. This is going to come up. You're going to push back. Left hand is going to come up. It's going to go down into a snake. So the right palm is going to spiral up. Left hand goes down. Then the right hand is to the ceiling, left to the floor. Sink. Right hand is going to turn round and open. Expand. And this is going to go forward, backward, 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 out. This is going to come around, sink. You can feel how that changes in your tailbone. It's going to turn, and then this is going to go turn, turn. Roll the hands to the left side. This is going to come back to your hip. This is going to come all the way around, cross. It's going to go to the brow of your right hand. Left hand is going to push up. Then they're going to change places, and the right hand is going to push out. Then the hands will go to pass each other. Then there'll be a kick if we were standing. It's going to go over to the right. All these beautiful swirls. And then sink. And then this is going to come up. Now, your right hand is going to pull out. This is going to slide up. This is going to roll and then come out. Hold the ball, and this is going to roll out. Hold the ball, roll out. This is going to come under, open, and then the right hand is going to reach out. Crossing the hands, it's going to slide into a snake, which will come around into a brush knee on the left. Hands are going to come flat, roll, turn the hand, pull back, and punch out. Flat, roll. It's always a little bit tricky. I have to think about which foot would I be using. Flat, roll, and then this would go turning, which would turn around, pass. Uh-oh. Down. Now I can't remember where I am as far as the movements. Nope. Can't remember. Comes down. Palm's going to open up. Sorry about that. This comes around. Just so many intricate little things. And seated form of this is something I don't do a lot of. So I have a standing body that remembers it rather than a seated body that remembers it. A little bit different movement. Pull. Okay, so this is going to go, this will be kick and punch, and then you would expand towards your right side. Then it would be kick and punch left, and expand on your left side. And then this part is a nice easy part. This is a beautiful sequence that finishes the set. And this is going to go inside in the belly. So you're wiggling the belly rather than the arms. Looks like the arms. I'm going to actually turn my belly. And then I'm going to bring up my right hand and it's going to glide across. And then the left will glide across. Right, we'll glide across. Turn across the hands. This will take us down into another snake. And the palms for this one are going to push out. And then this is going to come up, spiral, come through, cross the hands, open, and then let that go, sink. Just put the bow on the end of that. Perfect. So, apologize for the part in the middle. It really is a standing brain that learns. That's how I learned the set. And then to take it to seated, and then have a thinking brain that's a seated brain. It's a very different piece. Okay, so a little bit about seated Lok Hup. I just have somebody sent a message here and it's just covering up the camera so I can't quite see what you can see. There we go. Okay, so I just wanted to turn because Lok Hup is a little bit different seated than Tai Chi. Tai Chi we do a lot of falling forward into the feet, pushing back. And that's bringing awareness into the feet and that allows everything to roll back. And the back to open to do that. But in Lok Hup, what I prefer to do is, rather than fall into the feet, is just to rock between the sit bone and the tailbone. And that's because after that Tai Chi has kind of opened everything up for you structurally, when we get into the Lok Hup, it's micro movements because it's all within the organs and the fascia, and it's the extensions. So falling forward doesn't really accomplish that. But if I stay sitting up, the sit bones and the tailbone, there's like this little rock in the pelvis that just goes back and forth between the two places. And it's such a small movement, but when you find where center is for you and sit in it, it's not really on the sit bones, which is kind of like me being eager to get at something. And it's not really laid back like I'm going to lean back into a chair. It's this relaxed spot in the middle where the whole frame of your body is suspended. So you're sitting up straight, your neck is straight, your shoulders are dropped, and there's no effort in it. That's what we're looking for. And that's the position that you kind of rock back and forth between while you're doing Lok Hup. So rather than falling into the feet on this one, we're going to stay more upright. Okay, so let's review what we did the last couple of days. Okay, so that was coming around. So I'm just going to stay where I am. I'm just going to bring awareness. So awareness goes to my right foot to take me to the left. And then awareness in the left foot takes me back to the right. And then awareness in the right foot is going to line me up. Now right here, as my hand goes forward, my tailbone, I'm not going back or rolling my back, but it's definitely opening my back. And then there's a lift and a release as I go to change hands, and then there's an opening again. And then off of that, I'm going to turn my hands so there's a fist, and the other hand is going to push down. So as the fist goes out, you can feel the extension that runs right through the whole back. Wipe the sleeve. And this is going to go to the brow. And again, it's that same action, but you changed where your hand is. And then it comes sweeping down, crosses over. Now you can connect into the palms, into the chakras of the palms, and then open. And then this is going to go down, so you feel that pressure down into your seat. And then it's going to lift you up. Okay, now the last few days that I have done this, we have been reviewing legs, hips, knees. Then we were reviewing based on the digestive tract and how that whole system is functioning. And now our focus today is shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. So we have a completely different focus as we do this. That means what you're going to get from this move, even though I'm repeating it, is going to be very different. Okay, so let's start again. So you have, now, since I said all that, you have an arm that's at a 90-degree angle. The wrist isn't bent, but straight. The fingers have space in between them, so the energy can flow through. And as you go to move, it's the awareness in your right leg turns the waist. So the arms actually aren't doing any movement. That's an illusion. Okay, so you awareness into your right leg. Change the hands. So same action, going back, awareness into the left. Okay, so now awareness into your right brings you back to the middle. There's just the tiniest little pressure into the foot, and it just navigates you. So now, here the hand, one palm is coming towards your heart center, the other one is expanding out lower dantian, and then change. Push. Okay, so I just gave a couple of ideas in there. One is we have 3 gates. We have the lower gate, which is below the belly button, middle gate, which is center of the chest, and upper gate, which is at the back of the head or at the forehead. So what I just suggested as we finished that was you came across, the right hand is going to go from the lower dantian, just from where it's positioned, and the left hand is coming in to that second gate. And there's an expansion that you can feel right through the back from that position. There's a lift here, and then there's an expansion with the left hand. It's through heart, and then the palms are facing down to lower dantian. The hand turns. The left hand goes to the floor, and there's an extension out. Then there's wipe the sleeve. So you're changing what's happening through the body. And now this goes up to the brow, out in your biofield, out in the energy surrounding you, and it pushes out. Okay, now there's going to be a lift here, and the palms both turn to face the floor. And then we're going to cross the hands over. Now I suggested the chakras in your hands, so you've got energy that comes out the palms. So what you're doing is you're connecting it across, which is going to the opposite knees, and then you're going to slide it across the same. You feel the heat in your hands as you do that? Maybe. I can. And then the palm is going to come up, and this is going to go out. And as your hands come together, your elbows are going to try to come together. You can feel it opening your shoulder blade. So you've got a bent elbow, but you have an open shoulder blade on the top of that. That gives you a completely different feel across the shoulders, up the back of the neck. And if that's a problem area for holding tension, this is where you're going to start to find balance. Okay, so let's do that one again, and I'll just stay where I am in case that helps on that angle for you. So you're coming across, so that's awareness in the right, changing hands, awareness in the left, awareness in the right. Notice where those palms turn to, because you have a lot of energy in those palms, and you're changing them right in front of you. And then you're going to change here to expand through the back. Wipes down, this gives you a lift so you're going taller. Out with the brow. Lift. This is going to glide across the right over. And you notice, you can feel as the hands pass each other, there are sensations. I feel it as heat. This is going to come up and out. And that's where the angle just caught my shoulder in the spot that doesn't want to work there. It just got caught there. Okay, and it's going to come out. Right. So, as I've said to you, if there is an injury, 40% effort. So as soon as I was at a point of pain, I knew I had gone too far. So I had to back up. But of course, I'm leading you. So just by bringing the awareness into that arm, I was able to shift it. And then I was able to take it to a place where there is no pain. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that 40% effort on that part. Okay, so let's go one more time seated. And so now you know I'm not really working on where are you positioned on the chair, but definitely through the feet. And then we're really going to be using the upper body today. So you're coming through. And change hands, come through. Into your right. Now, notice where those palms go. And you may be very aware of what it feels like in your palms or to your body by those positions. Wipe. Out. Just going to, you can just feel your body come up, slides across, over. Be aware of the palms, and you can feel maybe a little bit of heat there. It's going to go up and out. So now I'm going to turn the hand. You see my elbows bend, come in and go out. Then it's going to be left hand to the top. And this is going to be inverting in your right shoulder to turn your right palm up to the ceiling. That's going to come through. So the left arm is going to spiral around. The right arm is completely turned, and then it's going to start to turn on the top. It's going to finish turning and drop. And then there's an expansion that comes right through the whole body, opening the shoulder, hand goes behind you, forward, backward, backward, backward. Okay. From yesterday, we did a lot of movement, and the ribs and the spine, a lot of movement. I can feel all my ribs today. So try that little part again. So the left hand's at the top, the right hand is turned. Okay, this is going to come around, over the top, and then it turns. You can feel in your shoulder the difference that it makes. And then the shoulders expand and separate. This is going to go behind your head, and then it comes forward. And then there's this pull back. This is all from the belly. And the belly is doing all of that. Now I could do it with my hands, but then it would look like this. It would be here, 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 here. So you can see how much movement is between my shoulders and my elbows and everything. But if I do it from my belly, you can see it's more of this whole piece is moving, more so than my elbow bending all those pieces. Okay, so that's coming from the belly. All right, that's what you'll be doing seated, and you'll just be copying everything I do standing. What I'm going to do now is go to the standing part. All right, and let's go. I have been doing it where I come across, I make this my front, and then I come across the side. So I'm hoping that that's going to be okay. So I'm going to bring my right hand across and step with my left. There's a sink into that left. Now I'm going to pay attention to my shoulders and my arms today. And I'm going to sink into the hip. And as I do that, the shoulders are going to line up. Step patois. And this is going to come out with the right. Step patois. This is going to come out with the left. Step straight. There's the fist. Sinking back to wipe. Goes to the brow. Sinks back. Here's where the hands cross over. So the palms are facing the floor, and you can push out of the right foot. Step straight forward. Step straight forward. Hands pass each other. Sink. This is going to come up and out. Push through. Sink back into your right. Left side of your body turns in. So now here goes your shoulder inverting on your right. It goes across. Sink into your right foot. Step patois into the right corner. I can feel right up my right leg at the back. I step my heel still into that, and I'm going to spiral to open, sink. Patois, step, patois, forward, patois, patois, forward. Okay, I know I was facing the wrong way. So what I did last time was I came and I went straight forward, so you could try to follow from here. So if I pick up my left leg, I'm going to go patois, patois, step, forward, patois, step, forward. Okay, now the movement of this, if you think belly, belly opens, opens, sinks. That's a completely different movement. Now I know that when we do it in the set, it's not quite like that at all. There's these step, step, pause, step, step, pause. But what I'm trying to get for you to feel and be aware of and sense is what's going on inside, what's going on through today, through the shoulders. And if you notice, as soon as I move my shoulders, you can see what happens to my hip. My hip is immediately engaged with where I'm going to go. Okay, so if we try that again, thinking about body parts and where they're going. So we have forward, backward, step, forward, backward, step, forward. And if you get it just beautifully, it'll flow between shoulder and hip. Seated is delightful. This little action here when you're seated is moving the organs up and down and really making a difference. So if something's been squished or something's been laying on top of something else, that's a place where you actually get to start to move it around and hopefully expand it to give it more space. Okay, that is a review of what we've done. A little bit of talk about the shoulders and the elbows. What I wanted to do is read you a little excerpt that I found. And this one is I'm still in, I've been reading a lot of this one, The Internal Structure of Cloud Hands, and Robert Tangora. And here we have a little bit about the elbows. So, as your Tai Chi develops, your turning strength relies less exclusively on the power of the psoas, the lats, the traps, and starts drawing on the power of your spine. So we know that because we talked about that already. In either case, to be effective, the power from the legs and the waist must be transmitted to the arms and hands. Sinking the elbows serves the purpose of lengthening your arms out from your spine. You should feel the weight of your elbows open your shoulders and connect to your spine. The angle of the elbows determines the direction of the power being manifested or absorbed. To most efficiently manifest power vertically, your elbows should drop down towards the ground energetically and physically. To project your power horizontally, your elbows should rotate out to a horizontal plane. And that's what we did. And you can see even when I do that, it just sinks into my whole body, and the whole body can move on that. Okay, so the rotation of the shoulder is different based on the angle of the elbows, and it's all related to the ground, which I found fascinating to read that today, because if you leave your Tai Chi always up and you're not going up and down through the movements, you're not using your sit, you're not opening the hips, then you have less movement happening in the shoulders and in the elbows and in the hands. So it's really important for you to identify where you may have tension that allows you to not move in those directions, and then start to focus on it, because it'll be very important for you. Okay, so let's look at that in relation to, did I get it right? Still, it's a smaller little square to work with. Okay, I hope I got it. Okay, so let's take the next movement. So we just ended up, I'm just trying to think which direction I want to face for you. So we came around, I'm thinking this is going to be better for you. Okay, so let me go from raccoon jumps at the butterfly. Let me go from there facing this direction rather than that direction. That puts me usually with my back to you, so that's not very helpful. Okay, so we're here. Okay, so now this would be a turn of the left toe to face your front, and a spiral on the ball of the right foot to turn your heel back to face your front. And then you would sink. Okay, now here I'm not going to go down too far, because it's not a big sink, but it's definitely a high sit, which means that the hips are going to sink back, knees let go, ankles let go, and you open the back. That's the purpose when you get to here. Now, the position of the hands for this whole next part is really important, because it's going to change what you experience. So you're going to sink, and then it'll be step patois, step straight, step patois, and the arms will turn and roll. Okay, so I'm going to back up a little bit. So you came around, you went down. Now, this is a belly lead. To the right, step patois, belly roll. It leads you across. Step straight, and then roll. And now you've changed the direction of your hands, and this is going to come out. Okay? I'm just going to do it one more time because I want you to get that last thing. So if I sink here, it's going to come around, and we stay low. We go step. Aqua. Straight. Roll. That had all the pieces in it. Okay, so now this is going to come back with a very, with an open palm, and it's going to come back to your hip. Okay, so my hand is coming through here, and there's from shoulder to hip. We're changing the dynamic, opening that right side by twisting in that left side. And it's not that I need to over twist, it's just that I'm sinking down into that right leg to make that happen. Okay, so let me just try this again. So you would have come down. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see. So this is going to go turn. Step back into the left. That really changes hips. Step pakwa. Open the hip. Step pakwa. Step straight. Start to roll the hands. Sink. Step through. Oops, I keep wanting to make a fist. Pull. Okay. So now the hand here is flat. You can see the dynamic of that whole movement coming through. And then what I'm going to do is turn the palm, and it's going to come around. So you have again, so we had that over here before, where this rotates and turns. This one does a similar action. So we're really doing a lot of work to invert and open this side. Do you remember, yin, the energy comes in the left side. Yang, the energy flows out the right side. We're trying to get this flow of the wheel to come through. The belly plays a big role here because the belly is leading you through this. And it's saying, okay, we opened everything up. Now move it. Move it, move it, move it. And then this part brings it around on the end. Okay? So you sink to the right. Step back into the left. There's a crack. Moved something. Step pakwa. And again, it's the belly. It's leading me across. Step straight. Roll the hands. That's going to come through and pull it back. And now this is going to come all the way around and cross. Okay, so it came all the way around, turned, cross. If you think about figure eight patterns, you have a spiral going on all the way through that. Okay, there's a lot going on in all directions with that little pattern. Okay, and if we get the movements right with the belly, open up the hips, open the shoulders, then what starts to happen is when you step pakwa, you just keep opening and closing more. Okay, try it again. Again, if you're seated, you just keep doing the arms because they will be doing what you need to run into your hip. Okay, so we're coming down. Sink. So this goes. Turn to the right. Sink back. And again, it's a belly lead. So open. Step pakwa. Belly leads you back. Step straight. That's going to roll down. Comes back to your hip. Now this is going to come all the way around. Step pakwa with that left foot. Cross. Step straight forward with your right. And this is going to push to the brow. Okay. So I came around just so you can see my feet. Comes around. Step pakwa. Step. Push. All right, so now you have one hand where it's going to the brow, and you have the other hand pushing out from here so the palm is facing out. So there's this sink in here, and in your body, you're sinking and lining up with the hip. The knee stays behind the toe, and you can just find the softness that comes into that movement. Sink. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move back so you can see my feet. I hope. So from here, I'm going to bring my left foot up, and I'm going to push into my feet. I'm going to focus on my feet first. I'm going to push out of my right foot, into my left foot, sink. Okay, so I'll just turn so you can see. So I'm standing on both feet. So I'm down on my right. I'm going to plant my left foot. I'm going to push out of my right and into my left. And then my foot's going to go back. Okay? And so I really make a point of this. Not a lot of instructors do that I have witnessed. But I like to do that push off because you've got your bubbling springs there and you're down in the left, and then you push that, giving impetus into the bubbling spring on the left, and then you place it down in the other foot. So just to be able to do that. Okay, so if I bring this around again, so this comes around, you step patois with the left, step straight with the right. This is going to go to the brow. Okay, so I'm down in my right foot, push, change, extend. Okay, so what I did was, I have to do it from here, I can't do it separate. Okay, so it comes around, step patois, so it comes through. Step straight forward to the brow. Okay, so now I'm bringing my hands. My hands are going to turn, so my left palm is going to push up while I push into my right foot, and my right hand is going to push down. And then as I change over, I sink. So as I go down into my left foot, my palm is turned to go down into to the left with my palm. And then this changes, push back. Now again, it would be very fast that you would see this done in the set, and it would just be like zip, zip, and it would be done. But what I've done is I broke it down into micro movements for you, so you could start to feel what happens in the body, because your palm, left palm is going to go up first, right palm is going to go down. That changes the pelvis. Then when you changes the pelvis again. Then when you change, lines it back up. So it's like you just do like a little shifting in it and then straighten it back out again. But we're talking today about shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. There's a lot going on here. You had that whole figure eight pattern come through shoulder, right? And then you had to the brow here. Then you have this drop and this change, and then the change, and then the push. So you can see in the shoulders, there's a shift that's going to happen in the hip. If you do it really fast, you'll do a nice job with it. It'll look good. It's a really fun move to do. But if you slow it down, you're going to have a lot more micro movements happening. Okay, so let's go from, you're here. So right foot is forward, right hand is back. Okay, I'm even going to talk about this a little bit. The left hand is going to push forward and the right hand is going to come back, and you'll notice it in your spine. And then you're going to notice your spine change again, as well as your shoulders as you come around. So there's that patois. This comes around, and then this lines up to send it out. Push down into the right foot, push up, push down into the left foot, or sink, I guess I should say. Place your foot to push out. And then this is going to end up having your hands pass each other to sink. And that's where I got stuck when I was seated. I wasn't quite sure where my hands were going to go. Okay, let's go from 2 hands over here. Sink, drop, open the spine. Okay, so now you're going to spiral to your right. Belly moves you back over into the left. Pakwa, moving to the right. Pakwa. Starts to roll, comes through. Straight foot, back to the hip, hand is flat. It comes all the way around, step pakwa. Straight forward with the right and reach out. Push down into your left, down into your right, place your left. Change feet, step, and push. And now if you want to add this last little piece in, it's a beautiful movement. Sink back into your right foot. Turn your left toe so your whole leg comes around. Step into that left foot. Turn your right toe all the way around to face the other side. Sink. And on that one, if you can sink way down, you'll be so curious how you can get back out of that, because the body lifts when you lift your hands, which is really quite cool. Okay, so where are we at? I thought we might be almost there. Okay, let's leave those movements. That's a lot in there. A completely different way to think about the shoulders and the hips in relation to the arms. But let's go back to White Stork Spreads Wings from the Tai Chi set, just to finish off. And this is for you to think about shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. Because usually we're thinking legs and all those other things. Okay, so if we go step up to raise hands, just turn slightly. So your right foot is going to go out, sink and drop. It's going to go foot, hand, and it's going to glide across. So just think about your shoulders and your elbows, everything's relaxed. And then there's this spiral that happens right here with the hands as they go up. And then the spiral comes through the shoulder, comes around through the belly, and then the belly leads the shoulder back and out. Okay, just a different way to think about it. So if we do it again, step up to raise hands, sink, foot, hand, turn and glide, place the foot, lift, 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 turn and sink, comes all the way across, step, and reach out. Okay. All right, so we've got that little piece, and now let's think about the very end. Happens several times in the set, but it's the very end of the set, the Tai Chi set, where you do hold the flowers. So it's going up to the left. It's the very end. Step pakwa. So you can feel in the shoulder blades as it opens, as you expand out. Drop the tailbone, placing the foot, and then you've got in, out, sink. So you can feel through the shoulders what happens with this. And then this turns to punch, sink back. You can feel that shoulder blade again. 2 hands, shoulder blade again, sinks back, toe, heel, sink. Crosses over. And again, you can feel right across the shoulder blades, probably into the neck. And that just gives you a completely different feel of the back of the neck. Okay, so if we try that part again. So you've got sink to hold the flowers. That's expanding the shoulders, but expanding the spine at the same time. So step pakwa, in, out, wipe, sink. Step straight forward, turn to punch, sink, Just feeling what those shoulders are doing, the expansion and the contraction of them. Whole left side turns, sink, crosses over, and then finishes. That would be the end of your Tai Chi set, or the end of part 1, part 2. That gives you a nice, you just feel the difference in the shoulders coming forward. So the last thing that I'll say before we break is just to keep in mind that whatever your posture is doing is telling you a secret code. So if things are not balanced, head is forward, you're leaning over, it's hard for you to sit up straight, all those little pieces aren't working, it's telling you there's an imbalance somewhere. And to pay attention to that, because it should line up. And then it's a matter of then moving the body to get it to go into those places where it doesn't really want to move, and try to bring the balance back. Okay, that is your Thursday. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.